the specific brakes that Adam did find, they're being shipped to us from Germany. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, we're here. It's 2021. Happy New Year, I guess. So before Christmas, I had told you all what I asked Santa for, and that was wheels.
Yes.
So Santa apparently has no control over the used wheel market, which I don't know what elves are for exactly then, whatever. But there were other car related gifts, and so today we're going to tell you about the parts that are hopefully coming our way as part of my Christmas present, and those are going to be the catalyst for a bunch of upgrades for the Outback, and we're going to tell you what's coming next in Outback land.
Absolutely.
So I had wanted wheels for Christmas. We've talked about wheels a ton before. If you don't know the wheels I run on this car currently, there's a video about the current state of the Outback. We can link that. I basically wanted another set of BBSs. The set that I pretend to own are really his off the STI. A good husband lets his wife borrow his wheels whenever she wants to. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe only if the car is not on the road. I don't know. They're not really mine anymore. I wanted my own set. That was hard to track down. So apparently instead, Adam got me some brakes.
So we've been wanting to do a serious brake upgrade to this car for a little while. For some reason, this particular car eats brakes. So I have put cheap brakes from like AutoZone and Advance on. I've ordered expensive like Stop Tech stuff online, and whatever we do, I'm putting brake pads on this car at least every other year, and I think this year it was like within 12 months of us replacing the brake pads, I had to do it again.
It's basically a theme. I come home and I say, hey, my car won't stop again, or hey, it's making this horrible screech. And it's never that the pads are completely worn away. They're wearing weirdly. There's a whole bunch of brake dust buildup caught in there. So whatever the stock brake setup is that we've been running, it's just not working for me. I mean, I'd like to be able to stop safely.
My theory is this is one of the heaviest Outbacks in the Outback lineup.
She's a big girl.
So there was a couple different brake sizes. There was the 6-cylinder brakes that a lot of people upgrade to, which I feel like this must be very close to the weight of the 6-cylinder. It's definitely heavier than the 2.5i. So we've gone back and forth trying to figure out what type of brakes we want to upgrade to. There's a lot of people that do the 06, 07 WRX brakes, but they're not actually any bigger. So we want a bigger brake to dissipate heat. That's the problem, is the brakes are getting too hot, it's warping the rotors, and it's eating up the pads. So what we've decided is to just do the STI Brembo upgrade. So Brembo is a brake manufacturer. They make all sorts of brakes. They make tons of factory brakes for different vehicles. They also make a lot of aftermarket performance brakes for like race cars and things like that. So what we've decided through the research I've done is to just do the standard STI Brembo upgrade. So my 04 STI has the gold Brembo brakes. They're painted black right now because they were in really bad shape when I got the car. Other story.
Like everything else in my car. It's okay.
So I started looking a few months ago for brakes, and they're very hard to come by. The specific set that we're looking at was on the 04 to 07 STI in the US, and also other STIs around the world, Japan, UK, things like that.
And you'll sense this becoming a trend. Anyone else with a modified car probably gets it. When you want a specific part that only came on certain vehicles, and those vehicles are a little old now, it was only a few years, they're hard to track down.
Yes.
So we know what we want, and we also know it's hard to find. So the specific brakes that Adam did find, they're being shipped to us from Germany.
Yes.
Which is why they didn't quite make it before Christmas, because they fell off Santa's sleigh or something. update. The seller filed some sort of thing, like where's my package?
Yeah, I've been in contact with the seller, Benny from Germany. You're an awesome guy. Thank you.
Shout out to Benny.
So I haven't gotten an update. The last update I got, I almost feel like it's like a customs thing because it's been sitting there. He said it normally takes about 4 weeks to ship them, but now we're in COVID, so it's going to be longer.
How many sets of brakes has been? You know what? Never mind. So yeah, we're being understanding that everything's just delayed with shipping everywhere. This is a more important upgrade because the current brake setup isn't great. But it's all right. We'll just wait it out, and they'll show up eventually.
So once we do the brakes, well, it's mostly a bolt-on affair. I'm going to use a combination of parts off the 04 STI, like the front rotors, the rear rotors. I need to order a special set because the e-brake's different between the cars, and then I just need an adapter bracket. The fronts bolt up perfectly, so that'll be easy. I think I have to make some modifications to the dust shield in the back. There's lots of different YouTube videos and things about people doing this, so I'm gonna kind of use that knowledge and then just dive into it myself and figure it out.
And we'll let you guys know what kind of weird stuff we have to do to make it work.
Yes, I do want to do like a full documentation of the process because all the ones I've seen out there have been a little lacking as far as the information that I needed. So
if you have this car and you want those brakes, we'll figure it out for you. You just hold tight. We just have to wait for them to come from Germany. So that's the brakes, right? Isn't that a saying, them's the brakes? That's not what I mean. That's the story about the brakes. So with new brakes, oh darn, I won't be able to run my stock wheels anymore because the brakes are physically larger, and these wheels that I hate, they came on this car that I run them in the winter. Currently my snow tires are on them, which is fine. Ideally I would like cute wheels year round, but oh darn, they won't fit over the brakes. So we're gonna have to get rid of those and get some new wheels.
yes.
So I had originally asked for wheels for Christmas. Those BBSs will fit over these brakes, and the other wheels that I run, again, we talked all about this in our first Outback video. The other wheels that I run are the WRX wheels off of what?
2011 to 2014.
Thank you, Encyclopedia Adam. I love those. Those are my favorite wheels of all time. I think they look great on any car that I've ever seen them on. I have such I love them. So I would be fine with a second set of those, but ideally I think it would be really great if I could run those gunmetal WRX wheels. When I have them on this car, it's a really cool gray on gray monotone look. And then the gold wheels, I like for some reason. I like gold on gray. Seems like it would clash. Tell me if you think it's hideous. It won't hurt my feelings because I don't care. I still like it. But it's definitely a weird combo. So anyway, what I'm trying to get to is having those two sets. I'd probably run the gold in the summer and the gunmetal in the winter. So Adam has been trying to track down the BBSs for me.
So the brakes were hard to track down. However, the BBSs that we need are even harder to track down. So in 2004, the STI came to the United States for the first time. It was in Japan, in the UK, and other countries for a few years before that. Well, it was in Japan for a long time before that, but we got it in 04, and that's the year of the STI that we have. So in 04, they had these gold BBS on the STI. They were a 5x100 bolt pattern, which is the same bolt pattern, how far the lug nuts of the wheels are for all of the Subarus pretty much up until that point in time. They had some issues with wheel bearing failure, so they ended up stepping up to a larger wheel bearing, which forced them to upgrade the bolt pattern as well. So in 05, the STI upgraded to a 5x114 bolt pattern. So the BBS we need were only made for 1 year. So that makes it really hard to find. They're also very desirable because they fit on all the old Subarus, all the WRXs from 2002 all the way up to 2014 they fit on, so people like to run them there. So to typical, economy
Right,
scale.
I'm not doing anything unique over here. Everyone likes these wheels, so they've been hard to find. So Adam he's had a few leads, obviously shopping all used marketplaces, right? So you thought you found 2 of them. They were at a shop.
Locally, yeah, but they ended up being the 05 to 07 instead of the 04.
Right,
so.
Which is a very subtle difference in just that, like the bolt pattern. So Adam went and he's looking at them and he's like, I don't think those are right. So they had to like try them on another car that they knew was 5x100. And they're like, oh, yep, they don't fit after all.
It was at a Subaru shop, so they had a BRZ on the left, and the guy was just like, oh, let's just throw them on the BRZ, and they didn't fit. So we'll have to keep looking. They'll be around. I mean, there's definitely sets out there. It's just a matter of finding the right one for the right price.
I do think that the WRX ones are easier to find. So if we are desperate, we could potentially run those and then sell them. And when we find the BBSs, don't worry, we've got it. But the stock Outback wheels are going to be no more, and I am fine with that.
Absolutely.
Bye. So yeah, so wheels and brakes are kind of a package deal. Obviously the wheels we don't have to rush on, but still we'd like to get those 2 things done, and that will be a huge step. But if we've got better brakes and this car can actually stop, then I feel like it's time for a little more power.
Okay, Tim.
90s sitcom reference. Well, Al, we've been wanting to go stage 2 for a while. So by wanting to for a while, I mean we bought a downpipe a long time ago from a guy at like a truck stop in Buffalo. Shout out to you too, guy. I don't remember who you were, but we've had that. It's in the basement. We have avoided doing any performance upgrades on this car. It's not smart if the brakes are already not sufficient to add more power, but also while he's been working on the STI, we're like, Outback's not broke, don't fix it. So we've just been waiting. But anyway, we have that downpipe ready to go. We'll also need to change the tune, but I already have an access port. I'm running the stage 1 tune, so we can easily switch it to stage 2. That's ready to go. It's also advisable to upgrade the up pipe, which we also have because we confused Grimspeed. Shout out my I'm joking. So we confused Grimspeed because he needed an up pipe for the STI, and it's the same one he wanted to put on this car. So we don't, for some reason I placed the order. Why I'm ordering them, I don't know. But I got a call from Grimspeed and they're like, oh, did you really need 2 of these? Did you mean to order 2? I'm like, well, yes, I did. Thank you very much, for 2 different cars. She's like, oh, okay. So ever since he bought that for the STI, we've had the Outback up pipe laying around too.
Yep.
So we've got parts ready to go, and that'll come after the brake and wheel upgrade. So we'll be ready to go stage 2.
Absolutely. And then, there is one caveat to that. So these cars come with a plastic end-tanked intercooler, which some of the WRXs also came with, all the 2011 to 2014 ones. I think actually 2009 to it doesn't matter. So some people, when they went stage 2, saw issues with the plastic end tanks on the intercoolers cracking or blowing off. So we might want to also consider a aluminum intercooler upgrade as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. We should probably do that. Because we don't really need anything to break, right? We're trying, any car mods can be a little bit iffy, but we try to do them all safely and in ways that we pretty much know will work. So yes, we will also do an intercooler upgrade then. And aside from that, there's a few things that I think we might do around the same time. Adam has been talking about upgrading my pedals.
So we have that clutch squeak issue, which drives us both crazy. I need to figure that out. That might involve taking the pedal box out of the car, which is going to be annoying because I'll have to take a bunch of things apart. But if it fixes the squeak, we'll be very happy. So I like the stainless looking pedal rear axes. So I need to figure out which year ones will work with this car, because the Legacy is kind of like a mismatch of parts between like Impreza parts and stuff that's unique to the Legacy Outback platform. So I think either the Impreza pedals from 04 to 07 will work, or the Impreza pedals from 08 to 2014 will work. So I'll just have to do a bit of research and figure out which ones are the set that will fit in this car.
Yeah, and those just feel nice when you're driving. They look nicer, so I'm on board with that. Not super high priority, but we'll just figure it out and then keep an eye out for that. It'll be a nice touch. Adam's talked about, kind of asked me if I want a new steering wheel. I don't really care.
Yeah,
he thinks it's a nice upgrade.
There's a lot of options. Like the pedals, it just makes the car feel a little more upscale, a little more racy, I guess you could say, but it's something that we've thought about. Honestly, we just got the interior of this car detailed and it looks pristine.
Right, I'm scared to drink my coffee in here, honestly.
But the steering wheel looks so good, we could probably wait on that or not even worry about it if you don't want to upgrade.
Yeah, I don't think I care too much, but we'll see. So anyway, those are kind of our priorities for what's coming next. Brakes are on the way, and that'll kick off a bunch of changes. So we will keep you posted and document this journey for Outback Phase 2.
We will.
Phase 2 and Stage 2. All right.
I think that's it.
That's it. All right, bye guys.
Bye.